There's a vulnerability on both Zoom and Terraria that scammers abuse to hack into people's computers without them knowing. Now, the scamming technique was a closely held secret. No one would tell me anything about it, and that's because it was used to scam crypto bros out of $12 million. But the problem is that over the past 2 months, this scam is being used more and more often, where now the victims that are being scammed are only being scammed for a couple $1,000s, which is far from the millions that they got before. And the reason why you should even care is the fact that with how easy this scam is to pull off and how effective it is, it's only a matter of time before normal people like you are going to be the next victim. I'm really playing into the fact that I'm sick and my voice sounds horrible, so I apologize in advance. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with the Zoom vulnerability. I love Zoom because the only memory I have of it is my old teachers figuring out how to screen share on it and it taking half an hour. 3 months ago, that's how long I've been procrastinating this, someone reached out to me about how they got hacked. They said a group of Roblox, crypto, Robux, bank scammers, ratters, keyword spam are at large on Roblox stealing substantial sums of money. And I just lost $700,000. They assumed that the cause is a vulnerability in the Zoom platform, which ended up in them getting a rat on their PC without them knowing. Now, I get a lot of people who will tell me that there's this big vulnerability in Discord or Roblox or something, and usually what it ends up being is that it's like some 14-year-old kid who fell for the most obvious scam on the planet, like Roblox.com. They're like, I gotta sign into this. So just keep in mind, I have to be a little bit skeptical if there's an actual vulnerability or not. So I'm telling this dude, I'm like, I'm not sure if this is an exploit or if it's just someone using remote support with Zoom, or if you just accidentally downloaded a fake Zoom, because there's a lot of fake Zoom websites. Now, thankfully, this is actually an interesting story. It's not him just going to the fake Zoom website, because what happened is that he downloaded the real Zoom off of Google. In fact, they even made a YouTube video, and in the video, they go through their search history. What a brave human being doing that. But yeah, they did download the real Zoom. Now, the unfortunate thing about this video is that throughout the scam, they're talking in a Discord voice call, and unless you're a weirdo on Discord, most people don't record Discord calls. So we're gonna have to move to another victim. But we're taking a look at a victim called Zonic, who got messaged by a dude named Stackhaven saying, yo, are you available for commission? We need 10 UGCs published for our game. For anyone that doesn't play Roblox, they're asking for like clothes, accessories, everything that people need to make their Roblox character look like this abomination. But anyways, they're hiring this dude to make these models, and they're willing to pay $250 per asset created, and money up front as always. So these people get into a Discord call that lasts longer than I do. But the weird thing is that after the call, the dude says, hey man, would you be free to talk to the team now? And they send him a meeting ID and passcode. For anyone that hasn't used Zoom, you don't get the PTSD from looking at this sort of text, but this is a Zoom invite code. Now, you just had a phone call on Discord. Why are you going to Zoom? Ginormous red flag, but we all sometimes avoid those if it's a goth girl. But what happens inside of the Zoom meeting that gets Zonic hacked? But after Zonic joined the Zoom Zall, he was asked to screen share his projects and Blender files to prove that he makes and owns the items that he uploads. So the next clue is there's screen sharing in this bad boy. And after Zonic screen shares, all of a sudden he sees something appear on his screen. It's like the command prompt of Doom. When you download a pirated video game and it shows a command prompt and then disappears, they're like, well, so Zonic gets hacked by this vulnerability, and the scammers go completely buck booty wild on his Roblox account. They go into his Roblox account and they change the ownership of his group to Stackhaven. If you don't know, the way Roblox works is that if you buy clothes, you buy it from a group, so the group has the money. If someone takes your group, they're technically stealing your money, and that's what's happening here. But the scammers are like, why stop at stealing this dude's money? They go to his Roblox account and they change his bio to say, I love this. And Roblox banned him because of this. And for the smooth guy who lost nearly $700,000, which, confession time, the $7,000 is him saying how much he thinks his Roblox group is worth. It's not the actual dollar amount. But Smooth, the guy who made the YouTube video, he got his cryptocurrency stolen off of his computer. And finally, of course, the cherry on top, he got his Roblox account banned because his bio said, I love this word. The interesting thing, and the reason why I'm pointing this out, is that the spelling of this matches exactly what was on Zonic's profile. So it's the same group of scammers that are doing this Zoom scam. But then I got one final clue. Because a viewer of mine made a video suggestion post, and in their long post, which I didn't really read until I got to this section, they said, our victim Tree, once they were in the Zoom meeting, the hackers told them to change his language to Polish due to one of their coworkers being Polish. They also told Tree that it was something to do with an auto translator, and after this, they asked Tree to screen share, which was where Tree believes the Trojan was injected. And my brain was thinking, is this something to do with characters in the Polish alphabet being used to overflow some variables, access root commands, hacking into our systems? I was in over my head. Just kidding. I did absolutely nothing because Silksong came out, and being lazy sometimes pays off. Because it turns out if you wait long enough, someone else will figure it out for you. And that's where I'd like to give a shout out to Sinister on Twitter, where they actually figured out how this whole entire Zoom hack happens. But when people get scammed, they get this pop-up. Zawatonika Zanawi. English, to allow presenting, check the box and click That's Weirds. Now, we know from the previous person that you're supposed to change your Zoom to Polish, that it pops up with a random window where you gotta click on the checkbox and you gotta be like, well, that's weird. And you're just supposed to click OK. Now, what am I saying yes to? And you put it through Google Translate, it says, a user named English, to allow presenting, check the box and click confirm. Asks for remote control of the computer. After approval, this person will be able to display the screen and interact with it, and holy boys, install software or change settings. So the second you click approve, they just install malware on your computer. It's that simple. So ladies and gentlemen, the Zoom vulnerability is just a Polish pop-up saying, if you click yes, they can put malware on your computer. That's weird. So a little bit disappointing that this isn't some big Zoom vulnerability, but you want to know what's not disappointing? The lore behind some of these scammers and how I got that $12 million clickbait ass title. Because Smooth, one of the victims of this hack, he pointed out that he was hacked by the owner of Blocks Trade, which is a Discord server we'll be looking into. And they point out this Discord profile of Joshua L, or the username Debugsy, who had the owner role inside of the server. Now, unfortunately for the scammer, this tweet went a little bit viral, and what happened is the scammer changed his Roblox profile and his Discord profile. It's now known as Stack Haven, which was the scammer that scammed the other dude that I was talking about. But they tell us 2 bits of important information. His Discord user ID is this, which I am going to copy, and his Roblox tag is Sevral's dorky ass name. Now I do what I do best. I pulled out the big guns. I went on my Roblox Enjoy Your Alt account and I started my investigation. So first, I'm going to ping this guy's user ID to get his Discord user, and his new name is now Nice Guy with a whole bunch of random letters. So yeah, he still has a Discord account. He's not banned yet. But if I go into the Blocks Trade Discord server and I search for this dude's messages, he is no longer in the server anymore. So ladies and gentlemen, the Blocks Trade Discord server is totally innocent and not run by scammers. In fact, it's who is the owner? There's an owner and an owner plus role. Okay, let's just server info. Oh, the server owner is by an alt account, so they're using an alt account so they don't get banned. That's a little sketchy. It turns out none of these guys are actually owners. There's like 500 different owner roles to keep things just annoying and confusing. The easiest way to tell who the owner is just by going to the rules. It's this guy named Vouch. And conveniently, a reply to Smooth's tweet shows this same guy trying to scam me. We have Vouch DMing someone, can I add you on my work account? And my username is Debugsy, and I'll send you a friend request. So this Vouch dude uses this Discord server with a whole bunch of members to seem reputable and uses it to scam people, and they constantly change their name or use alt accounts to avoid Discord punishing them. And I can confidently say that because if you go to their announcements, Vouch is saying stuff like, sorry for the ping, but does anyone here have US Virgin Media and is able to create emails with it? I have an opportunity for you. I wonder what those emails are gonna ever be used for. In fact, there's also another message by one of the staff members that got deleted, and it pinged everyone in the announcement saying, anyone in Scotland age 18 to 25 need an IRL job. Very obscure. Must be willing to take big risks. Paying upwards of $50,000 to $100,000 US per person. Funds will be held in an escrow or middleman and will be in XMR or Monero. Boys, a big risk job paying upwards of $50,000. I wonder if it's criminal activities. But where the story gets even more absurd and crazy, it's the fact that I saw this tweet where someone confessed that they stole $12 million with their friends using a Zoom glitch and the Zach XBT, which if you don't know him, he's like a crypto investor investigator, but he commented saying this is the first believable Coinfessions post because it's likely the Canadian threat actor, Soup, also known as Dan. And boys, all the dots started connecting for me. I was looking into Severals on Roblox to see if he's known as a scammer, and it turns out he's known not only as a scammer, but he's also known as someone named Soup. In fact, it's not just this one tweet. I went to a whole bunch of Roblox black market Discord servers, and everyone is talking about Severals because he has like a expensive inventory. You know, people are like, oh, he's rich, I love him. But every single time I searched up this dude's username, everyone would say, oh yeah, Severals is Soup. And this Severals account that I'm talking about sounds familiar because it is the person that hacked Smooth. And I've already proven that this Stackhaven person is Debugsy, and Debugsy is Vouch. So Vouch made this confession tweet. Beginning of this year, I stole $12 million with my friends using a Zoom glitch with a mix of social engineering. I tricked founders, crypto founders, into trusting me. I drained their wallets, stole other cryptocurrency, but when the money hit, I didn't even know what to do with it. I dropped it all, every single cent, on Telegram usernames, unreleased music, which Sevral is known for doing, watches, and endless gambling, thinking I could beat the system. The usernames mean nothing now. The music's all forgotten, and the bets, a never-ending spiral of losing. I thought I was invincible, but now I'm just left with empty accounts and a sinking feeling that I could have used that money for something that actually mattered, and now it's all gone, and I can't get it back. Oh, this brings a tear to my eye. In terms of absolute f***ing laughter, get f***ed. And now he's starting to scam people on Roblox for thousands of dollars. Also, how the f*** can you make $12 million scamming people by convincing them to change Zoom into Polish? Oh, that's weird. Like, how do you not Google Translate a random pop-up on your screen? And I think the best part about this is that after Smooth got hacked and got his crypto stolen, apparently that crypto was used to gamble. Anyways, gamers, now that the $12 million clickbait title is addressed, we can move on to the second vulnerability of Terraria. Now, this is known as the Terraria method because everything has to have a name. I call my wiener small. But a viewer told me that they got malware from joining a stranger's Terraria world. Now, my favorite part about this whole entire scam is how different people try to trick you into joining their Terraria world. We have obviously a scam ginormous red flag on the planet where people will send a message in Hypixel saying, hey, I'm quitting Skyblock and I got 200 million coins and I'll give it to anyone if you just play Terraria with me. I'm desperate and totally not trying to scam you at all. This is not a red flag. That's one way they try to get people to join them in Terraria. But my favorite has to do with this one dude here, where this dude, you could see his Roblox account, he had like 6 million Robux, and then one day he has nothing. And that's because bro thought he was getting E-laid and instead fell for the Terraria method. But what's happening now is that these scammers are hiring e-girls, or they're just pretending to be e-girls, so that they can get stupid teenagers who don't talk to women to fall in love with some e-girl to play Terraria with them. So to avoid the scam, just remember, girls talking to you, red flag. But how does this vulnerability work? There is a Terraria mod manager called Tmod Loader. It makes it so that it's easy to install Terraria mods. Now, usually for any other multiplayer game with mods, if you want to play with your friends, you both have to have the same mods. You download the mods, you tell your friends which mods to download. But with Tmod Loader, what will happen is that when you join a friend's multiplayer server, it will automatically download mods from them. This is great if your friends don't know how to use a computer, and considering we're talking about it in a scamming video, it's bad for security reasons. And that's because there's this YouTube video made by Ruby who talks about how you can get a virus by playing modded Terraria. And they actually like go through and they show you how they make the malware, and they do like a proof of concept opening up command prompt. And I mean, if the video being 2 minutes wasn't a hint on how easy this is, I'm pretty sure I could get a 6-year-old to figure out how to make Terraria malware. And here's the thing, video game mods containing malware is not a new thing at all. It happens with Minecraft. In fact, I made a video a long time ago about how there were Minecraft mods that had malware on them, where if you launched the mod, you would instantly get hacked. But that's kind of on you. Like, you are actively downloading the mod and putting it on your computer. You can check the code and go through it if you're really paranoid. But the problem with Terraria is that if you join someone's multiplayer game, you will automatically download and install all of their mods. And scammers are abusing that, where they will make one of the mods you download and install malware. So just by joining a stranger's Terraria world on modded Terraria, you can get malware. And And the weird thing that I found is that people don't see this as like a vulnerability or a security problem, because people who play Tmod Loader are like, yeah, bro, that's common sense, man. Don't join random people's servers. I'd consider myself tech literate, but there's 500 gazillion games out there. I can't keep track of every do and don't for every video game. And the thing with these sort of scams is that if there's no system in place to say like, hey, you're downloading some random mods, you could get malware, it's just going to keep spreading to different communities. Like the timeline for this Terraria method is that 5 months ago, I saw it being used to hack Minecraft players. 3 months ago, it started spreading to Roblox. And a month ago, I got a DM on Twitter of someone who got their Discord account hacked and stolen because they had a rich e-gangster username that was worth money. And realistically, there have probably been cases where cryptocurrency bros have been hacked by this. Because again, there's no system in place to say, hey, be careful. But I do want to say and put in this video that if you did get hacked by the Zoom That's Weird vulnerability, or if you fell for the Terraria method, or if you think you have malware or a rat on your computer, do a fresh install of Windows and then change all your passwords. Anywho, gamers, that's all I got in terms of the scam, but I do want to leave you with a bit of a brain twister. Why do these scammers get away with this stuff when their name is already on the internet? Why does the government do nothing about these guys? But the second I accidentally forget to pay my taxes for 6 years in a row, instantly knock down my door. Anyways, bye-bye. I love you. Mwah.